I'm Dawson and I'm going to show you how to stain a butcher block. Okay, now these do come sanded to 150 grit, but you want to sand up to at least 220 before you stain anything. So I'm going to use these little sanding blocks to kind of just do that by hand, and I'm going to wear a mask because I don't want to breathe in any of this dust. And you always want to sand with the grain of the wood, so just keep that in mind. Okay, before we do anything else, we need to get this sawdust off of here, and the best way to do that is with something called a tack cloth. It is just really good at picking up like really fine particles, and it's a little bit wet. So definitely recommend using one of these. It's way better than just like wiping it off with a paper towel or something. Okay, to prep the wood for the stain, I'm going to apply wood conditioner, and you want to let it sit for about 30 minutes before you put any stain on top of it. So first I'm going to stir it up. Just make sure you don't shake it, just stir it. I'm going to use some gloves. I don't want to get any of it on my hands. I'm just using a little foam brush that I got at Home Depot. Just make sure that you get it pretty saturated. I let this dry for 30 minutes, just like it says to do on the can, and now I'm going to apply my early American stain. If you put oil-based wood conditioner, you want to do oil-based stain, or vice versa, water-based and water-based. So I'm just going to open this up, stir it, and then do it on the bottom just to make sure I like the color. If I don't, then I can change easily, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Oil-based stuff is really hard to clean, so I always like to wear gloves for sure. And there is some stuff that will settle to the bottom of the can, so you really want to make sure you stir this pretty good before you use it. See how there's this black stuff on the bottom? You really want to make sure you stir that in. So I'm going to apply the stain with this foam brush, and then I'll wipe off the excess after a few minutes with one of these rags. So now I'm going to take my little rag and wipe off any of the excess stain that's on top. If I need to make it darker, I can do another coat, but you really want to make sure you don't have any extra stain drying on top of it because it won't look good in the end. hours since I did my first coat of stain, and I think I want this to be just a little bit darker, so I'm gonna do a second coat. I'm gonna flip it over, start again on the bottom, then do the sides, and then the top. So I ended up not really loving this color. It turned out really good, but I just didn't think it fit with the project I was doing. So I had found somebody else that wants this for their standing desk, and just to kind of seal it up before I pass it off to them, I'm gonna put a satin clear coat on it. I really like this stuff because it dries in an hour, so then you can do your second coat. I'll probably do 2 or 3 coats to finish it up, but I'll show you how I did it. So my best tip is go really, really slow and in the direction with the grain. And I like to overlap my brushes by like halfway of the first brush. And you don't want to overbrush it too much because it'll show your brush marks. So I did 2 coats and it's actually looking just so stinking good. But the last little part that I'm gonna do is kind of buff it out with a paper bag. It seems so weird, but it just gets out any like little tiny micro bubbles. You can kind of tell there's something on there, and then I'll ship it off. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, leave it a like and subscribe to my channel for more home DIY and renovation content.